Welcome to What is a Process? A presentation of ISO-help.com. The ISO standard states that the organization shall identify the processes needed for the quality management system and their application throughout the organization. All of the activities of the ISO system are directed toward defining, monitoring, measuring, and improving the processes. A process is any activity for which there are inputs and outputs. There are processes all around us. Let's look at one we're all familiar with, lawn mowing. We're all familiar with the actual activity of lawn mowing, but let's think about it as a process. Like all processes, there are inputs and outputs. With each of these inputs, there are resource availability issues, training, and human resource problems, especially if you don't have a teenager that's willing to do the work for you. And you, as your own property manager, need to monitor all these things in order to make sure the lawn is cared for. Next, there's an event that starts the actual process. In a business, if you're lucky, this is usually a purchase order. Some customer wants some product or service. In lawn mowing, this may be initiated by some measurement of the lawn height or feedback from others around you. The activity itself is usually regulated by some set of operating procedures. These can be formal or informal based on the experience of the operator. In ISO, these operating procedures are an essential part of the management system and are subject to constant review and revision. When the process is finished, you're left with a nice, tidy, freshly mowed lawn, right? Not necessarily. Who's to decide the definition of tidy? When do you know you're really done? What are the process outputs? The level of lawn care perfection depends a lot on what level of imperfection is considered acceptable. The standards for lawn care for Augusta National are completely different from the standards in your neighborhood. And even within your neighborhood, the standards of a neat, tidy lawn are not the same for everybody. In ISO, management is given the responsibility to monitor the process, determine the process specifications, and continually review the standards of process completion to determine if changes to the procedure or the process are needed. In ISO, the standard spells out in a general way the responsibility of management. But, like in your neighborhood, the standards of one organization may differ completely from the standards of another. There are sometimes external standards, from regulatory bodies such as the Homeowners Association, that the organization might conform to. It's management's responsibility to develop, measure, and improve the processes within the organization. And this also applies to outsourced processes. So the output of the process is measured to the standards of the organization, and it depends on a variety of factors. There's another key feature. In ISO, there's also feedback. In lawn mowing, there's feedback, quite possibly from the neighbors and homeowners, and your own evaluation of the job you did, to determine whether your process standards need to be changed, you need newer or better equipment, or whether you can be happy with the job well done. The ISO standard gives management the responsibility to collect feedback from customers and others. In addition, all organizations have support processes, an HR department to hire and train employees, an accounting and information systems activity, a facilities management activity. In lawn mowing, it is no different. You have to make the house payment or it's pretty pointless to mow the lawn. So the next time you mow your lawn or outsource the process, think about how the ISO standard encourages the organization to plan, monitor, measure, and change the processes in the organization, and about how the procedures and standards differ from one organization to another and evolve over time. For more information, contact www.iso-help.com, and thank you for watching.